think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning now. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning now.
Yo, yo, yo. How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? It's First Choice Fantasy, and we are back with another video today discussing draft/offseason winners and losers. To my left, I don't know if it sees it on screen, but to my left is Alex. Say what's up, Alex.
I am on your right from my perspective, so you were a liar.
Brandon down in the down under. How you living, man?
Doing good down here, even though I'm up right, top right. But
I'm top right.
My screen's fucked up.
Fuck you,
I
Brandon.
think
Get out of my spot, bro.
Zoom doesn't set this up podcast friendly.
Get out of my parking spot. Yeah, winners and losers, because we clearly know in May, right after the draft, who won and who lost. And if you doubt us, then you're a piece of shit.
Well, there's a perceived winner and perceived loser.
No, we know for sure. Write it down, put it in fucking concrete, because whatever we say is correct.
I can't wait to start with my first one.
Well, that one's wrong, but we already know about that. Let's get Brandon's first loser out of the way because he thinks he's slick.
Rookie draft.
Jamar
that
Chase,
we held
baby.
Last week, if you guys were watching, I put off a sneaky trade, moving up to the second pick, jumping to Alex and picking up Kyle Pitts, his favorite man.
No. Second favorite, man.
Well, behind
still
Chase,
got Jamar
Chase is
Chase.
your one. But.
Still got Najee Harris. Still got Brandon Ayuk out ahead. Still got Elijah Moore. Picked up Trey Lance at 205. So fuck all of y'all, bro. I'm chilling. Go look at my starting lineup right now. That's my bench. That is my fucking bench. My bench is better than at least 4 teams in that league.
I just wanted to bring up the last week's draft, so watch it.
Sit down there,
see
boy.
where this anger right here is coming from. You can
where it
witness
stems from.
You call this anger? Bro, this is my day-to-day operation.
Whatever. Yeah, that's true. You always kind of respond and...
I wish that was just anger. Jesus. Good God.
All right, well, that one was a fake one. I'm just going to go with my...
We're going to get into the real winners.
Yeah, the real ones. And mine starts off with DeAndre Swift. The Lions improved their offensive line. They didn't really gain any offensive weapons. I mean, they drafted I don't even think they drafted a receiver. Just picked
Amon-Ra
up
St. Brown.
Oh, yeah, Amon-Ra. And then they picked up 2 other guys off of undrafted. Other than that, DeAndre Swift is going to be their main guy. Even though they're going to be down most of the game, I think that Swift will be majority of the bell cow. He'll get all of the work. Jamal Williams is there also. I think he might play some type of a role. At least in a deep dynasty, you could definitely hold him.
Kerryon Johnson got waived too. So
Kerryon's out of there. But I think Swift obviously benefits, tremendously with that.
You guys can't see, I found a sticker under my chair with an L on it. And since Brandon declared me a loser, I will wear this L the rest of the episode.
That's good. It kind of looks like you're shaving your forehead and you nicked your skin, and how people used to do. They put toilet paper on their cuts. Remember the old Grinch movie when the Grinch came into school and he was younger and he had nicks on his face and he had. That's what it looked like. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've never seen anyone do it in real life, but.
Yeah, neither really. I don't think it exists.
Swift has to do with my winner as well.
Ed, how about you swiftly get into your winners?
TJ Hawkinson on the same team.
Jared Goff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but that's
another
positive for Swift. That's a positive for Swift too. You didn't list that, Brandon, but I got you on that.
That's not a positive. How's that a
positive?
Jared Goff is a positive for nothing outside of the LA Rams.
I think he's being dramatically devalued. He's not good, but he's not
Goff
or Minshew.
He's not Nathan Peterman.
Yeah.
Give me Minshew. Give me Minshew over Goff. Fuck Jared Goff. Give me Minshew.
Minshew as an individual quarterback play is probably better than Goff.
Neither of them are good. Just give me the personality. Minshew is a fun guy. Goff looks like cardboard.
Well, this doesn't affect fantasy. This is just preference to hang
If you
out
have to
with.
rely on either of
Hanging
those
out
guys
with
in
your
fantasy,
fantasy
you
friends.
are dead. You're done. You are dead in the water. Anyway, Ed Hawkinson.
TJ
There's no
Hawkinson.
receivers. I guess Brandon already explained this one.
It's literally the same explanation, yeah.
Yeah, he's the only guy. All
Same
right.
explanation, different player.
I'm going to give my first winner. And joke's on you guys. It's winners. Early round receivers. I count 4 guys, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Rashad Bateman, and Elijah Moore, who have little to no competition to step in as the wide receiver 1. Miss me with this Corey Davis nonsense. Don't tell me he's the one. I'm not buying it. And if you're buying it, that's fine. I will sell it to you all day long because by midseason, we're going to find out if either Moore busts or if he's the number 1. It's going to be Corey Davis, A.J. Brown all over again. Not saying more is going to be A.J. Brown.
With Denzel Mims being A.J. Brown, yeah. Gotcha.
Ooh,
Checks out.
Mims.
Checks out. An athletic freak. I understand. It's okay. Go on.
I'm liking Denzel Mims. AJ Brown.
Okay, yeah, anyway, Elijah Moore. And a 5th guy, I should point out, in Amon-Ra St. Brown, who could become the de facto number 1 for the Lions, although I'm not sure if that really qualifies. But either way, I don't know how often this happens, in which you have a handful of guys who could walk in and be like the best receiver on the team day 1, but probably not that often, so this is kind of exciting. I mean, I said it earlier that I think this rookie class is going to produce at least 1 wide receiver 1 this season. I think they could push for 2. Mainly just Chase and Smith, but go ahead.
Once you're finished.
That was pretty much it. Early round receivers. They don't generally get this much opportunity, I feel like. Or at least not in the history that I've looked at. Writing that article and reading through all of that shit, it seems pretty rare that this many dudes get the opportunity this early on.
Well, I have a reactionary player based off of your Bateman take as one of those. Well, we'll get to that later. But what does it say about us that each one of us has a Lions player as a winner?
To be fair, mine was with a question mark beside it because I don't know if Amon-Ra really counts. So,
well,
leave me out of this.
We are now Lions fans.
Well, I think
this makes us like probably the 3 most famous Lions fans on the planet because 6 people watched our last video.
I think what it is just the unknown of the new coach, completely new offense. Like, I don't know. I think the unknown is intriguing, and there might be untapped potential.
Do not ever use the words untapped potential next to the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff. Thank you very much. Now, Brandon, who's your next winner? Preferably not someone from Michigan.
Well, I said DeAndre Swift. So I'm going to go with a wide receiver here. Michael Pittman. I think he wins after escaping the draft. I would have thought that the Colts would have picked up some more weapons, but it's Pittman, it's T.Y. Hilton, the skeleton of T.Y. Hilton, and then, Paris Campbell, if he can, stay healthy. I thought about making Paris Campbell. I would have rather made Paris Campbell my winner. I know I saw Ed's picks, so I respect that, and I can see that why you picked them there. But for me, it's just Carson Wentz history at just throwing the bigger receivers. He just has a little bit more, success with it. So I made Michael Pittman my winner here. He really isn't competing with anyone outside of T.Y. Hilton and Paris Campbell. And even if they both happen to stay healthy, I think he would play a role.
Ed, you going to talk about Paris Campbell now?
You might as well jump in a bit with him.
I will say that he is a winner, technically, I guess, in a sense, because they didn't bring in anybody to, compete with him in the slot per se. Pascal's still there, but they brought in nobody other than a 6'5", 7th round wide receiver from an FCS school. I think it was Charleston. Yeah. He's not going to compete with a slot guy, obviously, in Paris Campbell. So the GM did say he's their guy still before the draft, and after the draft it proved true.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's the double plus, I guess you could say. Hopefully he can stay healthy. If not, well, then he's going to be the biggest loser.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, that was so good. All right.
Is he going to lose weight?
Yeah, he probably did. But
not that much.
Alex, go crazy.
Okay, so I know this is like fantasy related, but I'm gonna go ahead and shout out Eagles fans here as winners from this offseason because now we have actual players that might produce in fantasy.
Yeah.
I've already said Smith.
true.
I feel like is pushing for one. They got a neat little backfield. I think if we run the ball a little more, Sanders should be at least a mid-tier RB2. And I think Gainwell could have some promising usage here in due time. Maybe not immediately, but I think as the season goes on, especially because like I would imagine that they're going to use him. They're going to use them as like their own, as Sirianni's own like JT Hines combo. So I expect Gainwell to at least be getting touches like as the season goes on. So
Since I'm a massive
Fantasy sports
Detroit
all around.
Lions fan, do you think Kenyon Drake's muddying the water there?
Carryon Johnson? No.
Carryon Johnson.
Carryon sucks. No. I think if he manages to say
He's muddying the waters.
he's not muddying the
Yeah,
waters.
for Jordan Howard, maybe.
Yeah, he's muddying Jordan Howard's waters. That's the correct point. Jordan Howard is the only one that should be worried about this because his job just became in jeopardy. But like, if it gets to the point that we're giving Carryon touches over Sanders and Gainwell, then either A, they're hurt, B, our coach is a fucking moron, or C, Carryon is like actually good now. And I mean, if that's the case, that's an outcome I will accept.
I legitimately think I saw flashes in his ability in Detroit a few years ago, but like, I don't know. I think that kind of gone and went.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. Like,
I like what we've got going on so far.
he can stand over in the sideline and high five Sanders and Gainwell as they're running off the field.
I completely agree with you with this Eagles fans. I think we definitely are winners.
We
I mean, I'm
have
happy
something to
with
feel good about
Sanders,
until
Smith.
September.
I'm just hoping we utilize Travis Fulgham. I don't know if you call me old-fashioned or not. I just like to see a bigger-bodied receiver. Just having
There's
him
not
around.
really a lot of guys competing for that third receiver spot. It's basically just like him and Quez Watkins, and like I guess technically Greg Ward in the slot. But if I have to watch another year of Greg Ward being our slot receiver, I might jump off a building. No offense to Greg Ward, but like, come on now. I'm sick of this shit. All right, Brandon. Who else is winning?
Back to me. I'm gonna go with Tua Tagovailoa here. I think he's a winner primarily because if he isn't, he is, like Ed said earlier, he will be the biggest loser because he will be out of a job. Because this is make or break season for Tua.
I can't see that. I don't
think
buy
so.
that yet.
I mean, if they don't at least come close to playoffs, I think that the perspective of Tua in the ownership and the Dolphins, locker room will
see that, but they already traded their first round pick next year. There's not really a whole lot they can do if he busts. Or like, I feel like they're probably stuck with him for at least 2 seasons.
Jimmy G.
That is the ultimate desperation move.
Cam Newton once he.
There is no way I wouldn't trot out Tua for like his 3rd season before I'd trade for Garoppolo.
But no, what I see in Tua is pretty good.
They added Fuller and Waddle.
Yeah, Fuller and Waddle, 2 speedy guys. Got Parker, still got Gesicki, and then they drafted another who's long. They still have Myles Gaskin. Nothing changed there. I think their defense has improved some.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, I guess that, well, player-wise, it would be nice if defense would improve. Fantasy-wise, defense can stay poor. But
well, from an all-around standpoint, fuck the Dolphins.
Except for Myles Gaskin. Well, no, he's still fuck Myles Gaskin. The people that have him, though, in Dynasty, it's a positive. I guess they're winners from this situation because, all they got is Jared Dokes and Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed, who Alex just
He's
loves.
sleeping on Salvon Ahmed, and I wouldn't say love. I don't even know what school he played for, but don't be sleeping on him. His name is
They
Salvon.
both played for Washington, actually.
That's hilarious.
That's real. Yeah. I have nothing else to say besides the fact that you should sell Myles Gaskin immediately.
really,
Yes.
You think
for sure.
the owners of Miles Gaskin dodged a bullet? So who do you think's gonna emerge as like the running back one?
It doesn't
Nobody.
even matter as long
Really?
as you don't have him on your roster whenever his job gets taken,
Yeah,
either
that's
next
true.
year or at some point in this year. Just get rid of him.
Yeah, that's true. It's basically a 1-year rental. It's kind of like what I
If
did with
that.
Leonard Fournette today.
Yeah.
Shipped him off. Happy for that.
Another winner. Kyle Pitts, winner. He's going to the Falcons. That's it.
The
Winner.
name of this document technically should read switched in that case. Just
Brandons and losers.
No, it's
Yeah.
winners and Brandons because Brandon ain't won shit
But
in any
if
of the leagues
Kyle
we've played
Pitts
in.
is a winner, then that makes me a winner because
No, it
I have
doesn't.
Kyle Pitts.
Because that's not your whole team, you dumbass.
Well, Saquon Barkley's a winner. Gonna make me a winner this year.
Oh,
Oh,
that's spicy.
oh, I'm so afraid of you and like
Josh Allen.
who's that guy that's currently your start? What? You ain't got no depth, man. I ain't
know.
worried about you.
My
I'm not
starting
worried about
lineup's
you in
coming
this
up.
slate.
My
Your
bench
starting
needs to
lineup
come up, but
is worse
that'll
than mine
grow.
without the backup. So fuck you. But Kyle Pitts, winner. It's going to the Falcons. They're gonna throw him the ball. That's it.
That's what I'm counting on. Well, I'll jump right into James Conner's talk. He's a winner this year.
Oh, I guess that makes me a winner because I have James Conner.
It certainly does, but there's only room for one winner in this Zoom
Renner?
chat. Renner.
Hey, man. If you've won the championship, please put your hand in the air.
The world ain't big enough for 2 winners.
I won a championship.
The world isn't big enough for 3 winners. Yeah, but you ain't won the dynasty, so sit your ass down.
James Conner
James Conner.
had an awful O-line. Had an awful O-line in Pittsburgh. He escapes that atrocious situation, and he sneaks over to Arizona, where I think he has sneaky value here because Edmonds is just not the lead guy.
They're gonna give him the Drake
they
load.
tried to, but he just wasn't. He wasn't when Drake was hurt last season, and he isn't now. And James Conner, although he's hurt all the time, but I mean, if he stays healthy, he could possibly get that role, like you just said.
He's gonna get the Kenyon Drake goal line role.
What was didn't Drake land like actually pretty high on like? Wasn't he like a running back 10? He was a halfway decent running back last season in fantasy.
Yeah, I think it was like 15 or something.
Yeah, something actually like serviceable. So
that's more of a testament to the actual running backs that were up there, though, not him. More so like the injuries and whatnot.
That's true.
Yeah, last year was a weird year.
Injuries.
Now, I can get behind the Conner thing. I feel like he's just going to get the Drake role, except he's better than Drake as long as he's healthy, which is a big if, but it's worth a gamble. You can get him for cheap.
You know the best running back on that roster is, though?
Anthony McFarland. Oh, sorry, I forgot we weren't talking about the Steelers anymore.
Rondale Moore.
Dude, I should have known that was coming that way.
Yeah, he's a winner. Alex does not agree, and I understand his thinking because it does make sense. But at the same time, I'm not gonna, you should take into account that coaches aren't the most forward thinking, I guess, in Cliff Kingsbury's case. But
he's a dumbass.
I hope that he's not because
he's proven himself to be a dumbass. You better hope that he turns into a not dumbass this offseason.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Or that Moore can just work around his dumbassery like Murray and Hopkins can from a fantasy standpoint.
I believe it'll happen.
I think he's definitely got opportunity in Arizona, but I do agree somewhat with Alex. I know when we did our pre-draft rankings, I was high on Rondale Moore, but then my one stipulation was that I would have liked to see him land in a scheme and in a situation with a coach that could be able to utilize his capabilities well. And I don't know, Cliff Kingsbury hasn't really shown that he's great at that, and that just concerns me slightly. But then again, opportunity, dumbass coach. So
The thing is that like
which
Moore
one do you
excelled.
devalue more?
I get it from a certain sense because Moore excelled close to line of scrimmage. Like he was a very rare, like high volume target guy, but like never leaving the line of scrimmage almost. And like that kind of fits in with Kingsbury, but like I just feel like that's not what the NFL is. It's not just consistently catching the ball like 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage and just running around guys. And if Moore can make a
Deebo
successful
Samuel has
career
done
out of that,
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel is the exception, not the rule.
I don't know.
And if
Rondell
Moore
Moore
is
They'll be
the-
an
just
exception.
run around,
I didn't say
guys.
that he
plows
can't.
through guys.
I didn't say that he couldn't. I'm just saying that it would, I think, help him more if he had a coach that would, like, you know, not do what Kingsbury does, not suck. Because then they could use more in, like, varying facets and not just do what they're going to do with literally all of their players, which is throw them the ball right after they snap it. Shit gets a little
Definitely
predictable.
rooting for Rondell, though. I like the player a lot.
I like the player. I don't like Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll get into my last winner here. Michael Carter. Michael Carter. I say this because the Jets do not have a lot of running back, and I feel like Carter's not going to be able to go somewhere where he's just the guy. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's like big enough, but I like the spot. I know it's the Jets. The Jets are still the Jets to me, but I don't think this is a terrible spot because they probably are going to go like committee, but I don't see anyone else back there that's going to actually catch any passes outside of him. So that Devontae Freeman hype is coming in a year or two.
Yeah, I hear a lot of Devonta Freeman comps, so I mean I can dig it.
My original, and I'm standing by it. Now I want to start off the loser section
Go for it.
by talking about running backs in general. Because running backs are losers. And I say this because, like, we have two teams going into the offseason with Mike Davis and Myles Gaskins as starters, and that's just depressing. I'm also not buying it right now. That's very subject to change. I'm not about that right now.
Who else, though? Like, who else is out there that could fill those roles? Is
Anybody?
Trade Gurley. Even
Anybody?
Gurley, I would think.
Or, like,
Gurley
you know, the
would-
draft, you know, like, that's also part of it because, like, I know there were a lot of people, like the old Twitter community and whatnot, just the fantasy community in general, that were very bummed out about some of these landing spots for running backs, hence the losers. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone was super excited about Kylan Hill, and my man gets nabbed by the Packers like 3 picks before the end of the draft, where he can rot behind Aaron Jones.
Or
you
he
know.
gets cut.
Yeah.
That's
7th round pick. It's fine.
probably the better outcome for like a fantasy perspective because he might go somewhere like Miami and steal Myles Gaskin's job. You know, Gainwell to the Eagles. I know that was one that people were disappointed about.
Well, let's reverse order.
Sad state
Ed,
of
who you
affairs.
got next?
For a loser, I guess I'll just put his name out there because we talked about the Cardinals, but Chase Edmonds, solely for the purpose that I think Moore and Connor probably going to produce more than he will. Don't think his ceiling is as high as a workhorse as, like, in the offseason, early offseason, we thought that possibility could still be there. I don't think it's going to happen, regardless of what happens with Connor and Moore. And, yeah, believe it or not, I think he's a loser, even though they dodged a bullet by not drafting a running back, but still a loser to me.
Yeah.
I think they used to play. I mean, not used to. They play him out wide a lot, and I feel like Moore probably cuts into those.
Yeah. I think
For sure.
Connor cuts into everything else.
Well, Connor just gets the drink roll.
Yeah.
Like they're not. Edmonds will never be a bell count. It's not happening.
Yeah. I'll keep this running back roll going. And Raheem Mostert, you guys know that commercial that where the stepmom or whoever is going through the fridge
the
and
ants.
they're going
The ants,
expired,
yes, the ants.
expired.
But then the guy
That's
thanks her.
Raheem
I'd been like,
Mostert.
bitch, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, that's Kyle Shanahan thanking Raheem Mostert.
Thanks, Raheem.
Thanks, Raheem. Expired. Yeah, Raheem Mostert. I think that's
I don't
pretty
know, man.
self-
My man has not had a lot of career touches. I feel like he's got some juice in the tank. It's just a matter of whether the tank can avoid getting banged up.
Yeah, I mean, the tank is still fresh. It's full.
Had a rough
What, you
last
gonna rob
year.
a bank, Ed?
Yeah, man, I'm playing with wax.
Blocking your fingerprints?
Yeah.
It looks like fingerprint blockers. Like you're gonna go do a
Expired.
crime and
Expired.
yeah,
Don't
but
admit to
you
that on
know,
here.
the tank can be as healthy as it can, but I mean that doesn't really help if the tires are flat. So
Tires.
tires, not tank. Like
Maybe
a
what
tank,
was
a gas
what was
tank.
why was
Gas
Mostert out last
testing?
season?
Huh?
I think it was his ankle. So I guess tires.
Yeah. Bad wheels.
Bad wheels.
How is it-
But he has
okay,
good wheels when
Wait,
they're full.
literally tires. It could. Okay, his frame is messed up. Any reference you want to make, he's injury prone. That's all I'm trying to get at. So, Alex, what's your next
Accept it.
loser?
Marquise Brown
I
for
like it.
Oh, yeah.
He's
plenty
always
of
been a
reasons
loser.
that should already be obvious, but like my man thought he wasn't getting touches last year. Just you wait, buddy.
Mhm.
Those are going down. Wait till Tylan Wallace starts cutting into his target share. Because my man was one of the better deep threats in college when he played. So Brown better be putting in that work.
Acting like is Javonte Williams after the catch too. It's beautiful.
My man Tylan Wallace is coming for him. And Rashad Bateman already took half of his targets to begin with. And
it's his targets. That's
some
going
of someone else's. There's only so many targets to go around in that offense. So he's losing them, and another guy's losing them.
Because we're going in that direction.
Added.
But Mark Andrews is my loser. Just because we're here, we're stopped at Baltimore for a few minutes. Yeah, you got Bateman taking. I mean, I don't think Andrews is going to be bust from here on out. Not at all.
This might lower him from wide receiver 1 to wide receiver 2, which could be a difference of a couple targets a game, which could be a big deal considering the fact that the Ravens throw the ball like 8 times a game.
Exactly. And that's why I have Mark Andrews as a loser, because Bateman is going to sneak into Andrews' usage. It's going to happen. We're jumping on – well, I'm jumping on the Ed take with Bateman. I think Bateman's going to hold some value in Baltimore because Lamar's he throws to the big guy. If there's 2 big guys, then Bateman might get some looks. And if he proves himself as more, valuable than Andrews.
I mean, like I said, the road is very open for him to be their wide receiver 1.
Definitely.
The opportunity is there, and that's really all you can ask for from a rookie.
Yeah. So, Ed, get back on the
Who else is losing?
Lead us into the next loser.
We got Sony Michel, who the other day, I actually looked into this basically for my rookie draft, honestly. Supposedly, they drafted Ramondre Stevenson, right? They have Damian Harris, obviously. Still James White's there. Rex Burkhead's there. And, Sony Michel's 5th-year option was not picked up. And there are rumblings that he may not even be there for his 4th year. So that could be possible, which would go hand in hand with Ramondre Stevenson's stock up if that happens. But if not, Stevenson is fluid at the moment. But Sony Michel is definitely a loser for this. He's getting hurt consistently. He's been mediocre the past couple of years and his competition. So I don't even think he had stock to begin with, at the beginning of this offseason, but now it's definitely down. He's a big loser.
When in doubt, Patriots running backs down the toilet.
Except for Stevenson, the future LeGarrette Blount. But I digress.
I know I said this last week. I think I did. Maybe it wasn't on the pod, but I really think life after Cam will open up big things for Ramondre. I mean, even if it's year 2 for Ramondre and Dynasty, I think he will be taking over goal line work.
The thing is, though, Damian Harris was pretty good last year.
He was.
Don't be sleeping on this, man. Stevenson doesn't. He's got to be better than Harris.
Who was the back with the Patriots when they had Blount? They had another guy, didn't
Eric
they?
Blount?
Brandon Bolden?
Well, maybe it was just Eric Blount. But
the Patriots always rotate running backs. That bodes well for nobody because there's always going to be at least 4 guys in there.
I mean, the guy who gets most of the goal line carries is the guy
It's
I
not
would
going to be
most
one guy.
likely
It's
roll
not going to
out in the
be,
flex.
but it's not going to be one guy because Belichick's going to do those things where he gives Jonas Gray the goal line touches for like 2 games and then literally never again.
What the hell is Jonas?
And like Garrett Blunt had a season in there, man.
Jonas
You never know.
Brothers?
You don't remember that, Brandon? Or Ed, do you remember the 4
Yeah, I
touchdown?
remember
Yeah,
it.
okay, Ed
Yeah.
remembers.
Yeah.
See, Brandon, you don't even remember. Belichick has you in the trance. The real loser, you.
Is Brandon. Oh, man. Winners
Brandon
and
has been
Brandons.
lost. All right, whose turn is it? Is it my turn again?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins because fuck you guys. You traded your first-round pick to move up to 6, and you didn't even get Chaser Pitts. That's it. You're a loser. Get out of here with this waddle nonsense.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
if he's a Pro Bowler next year, you can feel free to tweet at me. I'm just kidding. Nobody's watching this part. Miami Dolphins, losers. Fuck them. Ed.
Back to Ed. We were talking.
Ed.
Okay, well, let me just say this. I'm already halfway done my losers, but all of my losers were running backs because I didn't really, think past that. But the obvious, nobody else listed this, surprisingly. James Robinson. Pain.
Yeah.
The-
Insert
Just pain.
Ed's meme. Pain.
Yeah, pain. That's it. That's all I got to say.
That's self-explanatory.
All right. I'm going with Carson Wentz. I mean,
Good.
Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman was a winner only because I think he'll be the only guy of value in the Colts offense, aside from the potential of Paris Campbell's. But
Campbell's?
Carson Wentz,
There's more than one of them?
Yeah, Paris
Oh,
Campbell.
yeah, they're multiplying.
Well, if they have multiple, I mean, they're expendable. So even if one gets hurt,
True.
replace it with another.
Roll in the other.
Maybe that's why they didn't draft anyone. No, the
Got
Colts,
4
for
Paris
some reason,
Campbells.
didn't add anyone on their offense aside from a late round tight end who, I mean, I like in Dynasty, but I don't think he's going
Say his name.
Wentz.
Say his name.
Jalen Granson, I believe.
Kylan.
Granson.
Yeah, Brandon doesn't know his own sleepers' names.
Kylan Granson.
So, bear that in mind.
Well, I know the location he's at. That's all that matters. And
All that matters.
Carson Wentz, I think he's going to be a big loser this year. Although I still think they're a playoff team, which is good for the Eagles.
No, it's not.
If they make the playoffs, don't we get first?
We make the playoffs if they make the playoffs and Wentz plays 70% of snaps. However, if Wentz plays 75% of the snaps, we get that regardless of what they do. It doesn't matter if they go 0-17.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Never mind.
I hope Wentz plays the first, 14 games and they lose every single one of them.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought they had to make the playoffs.
No,
Well,
he just needs to play 75% of their snaps.
doesn't
So hopefully
change
they
anything.
lose
Carson
and
Wentz,
he starts.
loser.
You have a lot of hate in your heart, Alex.
I sure do.
Sheesh.
It's rating.
If you're an Eagles fan and you don't dislike Carson Wentz, I've lost respect for you.
I don't like the move that he pulled off.
Move. How about 15 of them? Or that comment about watching Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl is being tough for him just really grinded my gears.
I mean, that'd be kind of rough.
That tells you all you need to know about him as a teammate.
It is kind of rough, but it is selfish. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, selfish. Yeah, but
I get it, man. You got hurt. That sucks. But time and a place. I don't give a shit. If I get hurt and we still win, I don't give a fuck. We won. There are so many more reasons to not like Carson Wentz, but when he wins MVP next season, I will still hate him.
Brandon, do you got any more losers?
I got one more, but you guys don't have any more?
I have Melvin Gordon. I'll just put that out there. That's it.
Toss it out.
Melvin Gordon. I have one. Justin Fields.
As a loser.
As a loser. Because he went.
Why do you act like that's a self-explanatory one?
I didn't?
Oh, it sounded like you were saying it like we should have known. I don't know if you got the same vibe, Ed.
Because he went to the Bears. Think of where else he could have went to the 49ers.
I don't know.
Did you see that report that they were down to Lance and Fields?
Well, yeah.
He could have went to the Niners. He could have went to the Panthers. He could have went to the Broncos. And instead he's in Chicago.
Oh no.
Fucking Bears. I get it. that like the Bears are probably the Bears just because they haven't figured out a quarterback, and like if Fields is good, that like he can probably turn a lot of that narrative around. But just like with Wilson and the Jets, man, they're still the freaking Bears. And like Fields could have been in San Francisco with Shanahan and with Ayuk and with Debo for like a game, and with Kittle and again with Shanahan. But instead, he's got Matt Nagy and like Nick Foles.
How different is it with that? Like, I get the Bears aren't like the ideal landing spot, but like you've got Cole Kmet, who could be a legit tight end. You've got Mooney, who has shown flashes, and you got Allen Robinson, who, in my opinion, is one of the best wide receivers because he's played with awful quarterbacks.
It's not.
You don't even know what he.
I just think he's a loser compared to where he could have gone. I think Carolina would have been a better spot. Call me crazy. I think Denver would have been a better spot.
I do.
And I think the Niners would have been a better spot, but instead he's on the Bears. And like maybe it becomes a match made in heaven, but I'm saying right now that he could have had a better outcome.
That's fair.
So there's my controversial pick.
Well, I'm gonna go Tyler Boyd as my next loser. My last loser.
Boyd.
Did I call him Tyler? Well, he is a boy because he's the last boy out.
No, you had two D's. Hence, I am. Brandon, make your point because I'm going to argue with you then, but I'll let you go first.
I think Tyler Boyd is the odd man out of this trio and the Bengals long term. This year, maybe next year. Sooner or later, I think he's the man who's going to get the boot.
NFL offenses can sustain 3 wide receivers, especially offenses like the Bengals that like to throw the ball 84 times a game. And Boyd's still that third guy. Now, if he signs with the Packers and they're trotting out like, Trent Diller at quarterback, then I'll agree with you. But we're not at that point yet.
Who the hell's Trent Diller?
Is it Diller? No, it is Diller, right?
Like the Ravens dude?
He's like way retired.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just talking about if Rodgers doesn't show up and if Love sucks if Love just sucks, then like they're gonna have to resort to like Brett Favre. Oh, please get Brett Favre to come out of retirement. I would pay money for that. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think Tyler Boyd's gonna be fine in redraft, but I'm not exactly sure when his contract is up.
Didn't they give him like a 4-year extension like a year or two ago?
Well, then 2 years, then
got a couple years left at least.
Putting into effect. I just really believe T. Higgins is extremely skillful. Obviously, Chase. I think Boyd is good. I don't know. I think he's going to end up being the guy that will move on. The Mohamed Sanu of the Bengals from years back.
Well, he'll just go somewhere better. Hopefully not. To the
Mohamed, but where did he go?
Yeah, where did he go after leaving the Bengals?
I think Falcons and then Lions. Or was it Falcons and then Patriots and then Lions? He had a weird history, but he was a talented guy. He would have been good on he was on a good offense. Never mind. Besides the point, Mohamed Sanu is not the guy we're talking about.
Bengals offense should be pretty solid next season. If they can even get like slightly below average offensive line play.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it.
That is it for the winners and
losers. Book it, guaranteed. I know we disagreed on some of them, but we were 100% accurate. Trust me. That's all you need to know.
The numbers are real.
Yeah.
Speaking of numbers and speaking of accurate, 2 articles up on firstchoicepodcast.com. Alex's, which is very number-centric. Am I wrong?
Probably not.
Probably not. He talks about rookies and why you should or should not draft them in redraft.
The answer is maybe.
Who knows?
That's the conclusion even afterwards.
Make that decision on your own.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
And then the second article is rookie rankings and dynasty. Me and Cam Cutlass did that one. But firstchoicepodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter as well. FCF_Edward, FCF_Alex, FCF_Brandon. And then what's the first choice Twitter, Brandon?
First Choice Podcasts.
Boom.
Looking for like
Right
a
there.
heel. If anyone wants to follow us around and like swear at us every time we post something, I would love that.
Yeah.
We'll find somebody in due time. We'll be the
Submit
most
some
popular
questions.
lines.
I want a
Absolutely.
villain.
We need
I
some
want a villain.
questions to have like some type of answering segment. We'd love to answer some questions. You get 3.
Even if they're not
complete
related to
opposite
football. Ask me
opinions.
literally anything.
Yeah.
And I
Name
will
of
give
his
you
cat.
something that sounds very angry
For
and
no
most
reason.
likely
either.
isn't. For no reason.
We need a Q and Alex.
No
segment.
reason.
Jesus Christ.
I'm getting it.
Alrighty. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We're out of here.
Intensity.
First choice deuces.
First
No.
Choice out.
Oh, shit.